Well, fresh tremors and aftershocks today has hampered relief and rescue operations in Nepal. In fact, at the Tribhuvan International Airport, all flights were in fact suspended after the fresh tremors jolted the Nepalese capital. Now, what we have learned is that the NDRF flights may again take off shortly. Evacuation process will begin after this in Nepal also. In fact, my colleagues Rahul Kanwal and Atir Khan, those who were on two of these commercial flights of Indigo and SpiceJet, those who were making their way towards the Tribhuvan International Airport, they were returned back to Delhi just a while back. But what we have now learned is that after refueling, these flights may resume. Rahul Kanwal, in fact, sent us this report from on board the aircraft, which was sent back to Delhi.
We're on board the Indigo airline flight that was scheduled to go to Kathmandu, but the pilot informed us that there had been another bigger earthquake in Kathmandu as a consequence. After hovering in the sky for a while, this plane is now going back. There are several rescue people on board, several Indian and international journalists. Let's try and speak to some of them and find out, sir, what was your plan while you were hoping to land in Kathmandu?
Well, now the plan B we have to go back to Delhi. That's the only option.
So what's your name? What do you do?
I'm Murli. I work with Pan India. I'm the senior manager for disaster risk management. I'm going to Nepal basically to support our Plan Nepal in emergency operations to establish humanitarian work immediately there.
Okay, so now that this flight is going back, what is your plan B?
The plan B is now I'll be going to Lucknow. That's the only option we have. From there, we'll have to take a road. It's around 530 kilometers. Maybe if I can reach Gorakhpur tonight, we'll stay there, and early morning we can go start to the Kathmandu. That's the only option. Because our idea is to reach immediately. The NDRF is doing the rescue operations and all. We should also look into the other aspects now, because tomorrow will be the third day. Food is very important and other needs are very important now.
There are several young people who are hoping to meet their family members when they got back to Kathmandu. That unfortunately is not going to happen, and you can see anxiety writ large on their faces. Tell me, why is it that you were hoping to go back, and how are your family members doing?
The main intention of going back to Kathmandu was to see our family, how our family was doing, and but now I'm quite worried about what's going to happen with the family. I got no words to say, actually.
Did you have an opportunity to speak to your family members? What is it that you do in India?
I actually went to India for the Sanskriti MUN. It was a conference, and I was part of the Nepalese delegation. And actually, this happened when during our session, and I don't know what to say, man. It's a difficult situation.
Don't stress too much. I'm sure your family members will be okay. You had an opportunity to speak to them?
I spoke to my mum right before I boarded this flight. That's all I got.
She's all right?
She said that she was treating the patients back in Nepal who were injured, as she's a doctor, and I hope she is alright.
She will be fine, don't worry, and hang in there, and I hope that you're able to reunite with your mother very soon. The information is that Kathmandu airport has been shut down for all commercial flights. Only rescue flights currently being allowed onto the Kathmandu airport, and we're currently not certain of how and when we'll be able to make it to Kathmandu, if at all. With camera person Yogendra Singh, this is Rahul Kanwal on board an Indigo flight reporting for Headlines Today.
Well, let me also cut across to Deputy Editor Atir Khan, who is also on board one of these flights trying to make his way towards Kathmandu. Atir, what's the latest? Have the flight service been resumed? What has been informed to you on board the flight that you are as of now?
Well, you see, the pilot has made an announcement that the same flight is going to take off for Kathmandu, and refueling has already been completed. But the aircraft is waiting go-ahead from the ATC. So all the passengers on board hope to reach Kathmandu. There are a number of students who were in Delhi for a sort of a conference here, and they were quite worried when the pilot had announced that there was a bigger tremor than yesterday. But now they are relieved since another announcement has been made that the tremor, it was the aftershocks which were greater in strength than yesterday. So now the flight is almost ready for takeoff, but waiting a clearance from ATC.
Atir, also if you can bring us up to speed with when are you as Rahul was also pointing out just a while back, the rescue flights were being allowed. Now you've been told that after refueling, the commercial flights will also take off. What are the sort of other passengers on board this flight? Because we saw in Rahul's report there were some rescue specialists, there were some personnel from various NGOs, some journalists. Who are the others on this flight, and by when, if this flight quickly takes off, by when are you expecting to touch down in Kathmandu?
Well, as far as relief aircraft are concerned, since they do not need a long airstrip, so perhaps that's why the permission was given by the Kathmandu airport for them to land. But as far as commercial flights are concerned, a detailed assessment needs to be carried out before they are allowed. So now that has been done, and now the operations have resumed at Kathmandu airport. As far as the flights we are taking is concerned, there are people from different walks of life, including people from humanitarian agencies. There are a number of journalists, there are students, there are people who are returning back to Kathmandu.
Right.
So yes, but all of them are concerned about the state of affairs there.
Absolutely, Atir there trying to make his way towards Kathmandu along with other journalists, those who in fact are trying to reach the epicenter, the ground zero, and bring us up to date with what is happening there.